I welcome you once again to our daily devotion with William J. Today we are looking at the book of John, chapter 18, verse 7. Jesus speaking here. The Bible says, "So he asked them again, 'Whom do you seek?' And they said, 'Jesus of Nazareth.'" Everything that took place here in the garden is remarkable. In the very family of Jesus, how amazing it is that any should be low enough to betray him. But here we find Judas, who has been called to the apostleship and invested with power to work miracles, and a few hours before had partaken of the Holy Supper. Here he's heading a band of men and officers which he had obtained from the chief priests of Pharisees, and betraying his master and benefactor into their hands with a kiss. How wonderful was the courage of Jesus, who, though he knew all things that should come upon him, not only remained in the place, but came forth from the retreat and presented himself. This was the effect of a love stronger than death. Perfect love casts out all fear. How wonderful was the rebuke and the repulse which his enemies met with. No sooner did he pronounce the words, "I am he," that they fell backward onto the ground. Whether some rays of glory broke from his sacred body, or whether he immediately by his power impressed their minds, we do not know. But surely here was enough to induce them to discontinue their unholy actions. Yet how amazing that in a few moments they rise and recover enough courage to approach him a second time. So then he asked them again, "Whom do you seek?" And they said, "Jesus of Nazareth." Their courage was partly due to the influence of their numbers. A man alone may be often easily deterred from an evil action. But it is otherwise when a man has others to support him, and he is stimulated by his fellow creatures. It shows us also the hardening nature of sin. When the men of Sodom were smitten with blindness, they did not stop, but groped by the wall to find the house where the heavenly visitants were. Upon the removal of each plague, when Pharaoh saw that there was a respite from a plague, he hardened his heart. And Ahaz, in his affliction, sinned yet more and more against God. And of how many may it be said, "You have stricken them, but they have not grieved. You have consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than a rock, and they have refused to return." Neither the various tools that God may use or even miracles will avail when God leaves a man to himself. Persons often think that a dreadful event will do what ordinary corrections have failed to accomplish. But we have known many who have been stripped and reduced, and yet their minds have not been humbled before God. They resemble fractions of ice or stone, broken but not changed, each piece retaining the coldness and hardness of the whole. They think that a specter would be much more effective than a preacher. Such vain hope! If they did not hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded if someone rose from the dead. O my God of all grace, fulfill in my life the promise. A new heart I will give you, and a new spirit I will put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes. And you shall keep my judgments, and do them. Fabulous prayer for all of us. Lord, if you don't change me, and you don't keep me, I will not be faithful, and my heart will harden. Thanks for listening in, and I hope to see you next time.